This week, we're diving into Hades 2. Is it already a Game of the Year contender? And also, we're discussing Xbox Game Pass and a very steep price hike to ask why Microsoft have killed the best deal in gaming. And in our main topic, we're talking sequels, the rare follow-ups that actually outshine the originals. Plus, in this week's Pixel Picks Showdown, we're appreciating smaller works of genius as we're crowning the best game within a game. All this and more on this week's Pixel Parents podcast. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Pixel Parents podcast, the show that discusses all things gaming from the perspective of parents. I am your host, Liam Kirkkelvin, and today I am of course joined by the bearded one, Scott, the tastemaker. Curry, how are we, Scott?
I'm fine. I'm actually laughing because you stuck the fingers up at me during the intro and it killed me. But no, I'm good. I'm very well. I am. I said that I was suitably soiled and wet before the episode began.
As you should be.
I mean, as one should be. But I'm pretty good, man. Nothing to complain about, to be honest with you. How are you?
Good, yeah. My mind is a bit mush today. So I've been stuck in a room just looking at numbers all day. That's not my strength, as you know, Scott. I'm not your numbers guy. Give me words, precious sweet words over numbers any day. Bar that, yeah, I'm good. You know, it's been a fantastic week for gaming, and it's also been a pretty crap day for gaming as well at the same time, which we will dig into shortly. But bar that, man, can't complain. Let's go. Silly season's upon us. We've got non-stop games. Let's do it.
I'm fed up of hearing about it, Liam. I really am. It's hit me this week how fucking ridiculous this whole thing is. Like, outrageous.
About the amount of games that are coming out just now.
Yeah, just too many games all at once.
I know.
It's disgusting. Like, people should really be considering, you know, our wallets and the time that we have to play these games. Like,
laughs in corporate.
Yeah, I mean, aye, too right. But it's just, I think we spoke about it at the end of the show last week, just as we were going off, that talking about Ghost of GOTY and how, you know, I'm not going to buy it when it comes out because I just
famous last words, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that arsed by it. To be honest with you, I think I've been pretty good sticking to my guns this year. With not buying many things.
I wouldn't invite the auditors out in terms of the 4 games thing. I wouldn't do it, Scott. I mean, we could always ask Alex on to be the
I don't think it's
auditor.
I don't think it's that bad. I think that, you know, maybe 4 was a bit ambitious, but I think maybe 5 or 6 is probably here or there.
Do you know?
But it's just time. It's the time investment of it all. I just can't be arsed.
It's the most precious currency and commodity we have. You can't earn it, you can't get it back, but you sure as hell can spend it quickly. And yeah, I think it'd be quite good maybe towards the end of the year, which we ain't far from now, believe it or not. October already, how'd that happen? Maybe it might be worth us going through just a very honest audit of what did we actually spend on games this year.
That's a good idea, actually, the shopping list.
Yes.
Seats. Aye, I'll do it.
Pay attention for that one. Or we might just chuck that as a side quest with Scott and he actually confesses to buying 600 games. We shall see.
I don't think I'm actually that bad. I really don't.
You've been better this year. 100%. Like, in the past, right? In the past, you have been known to purchase a game and leave it in the cellophane. But that's not so much a wasteful thing. It's like you said, it's a time thing. Best of intentions picking it up and you're like, I just can't get to it. Just can't get to it. It's not going to happen. The will is there, but just can't do it.
It's not. No, I agree. But
all been there, man.
We have
been there.
We have been.
Well, let's just dive in there. Before we do, we should get some housekeeping out the road. So, of course, for those listening, this is the Pixel Parents podcast, a weekly podcast by parents who game for those who do the same, where each week we discuss all things gaming whilst raising little ones. Now, every Friday, you can listen and see your old dads talk video games on YouTube, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So please Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're not there already, so you don't miss our mugs. And if you want to be part of the podcast, come say hello and share your thoughts with us at pixelparents.bsky.social on Blue Sky, or write to us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. And if you like what you hear, you want to support the show or even join in, you can, of course, join our free Patreon so you don't miss an episode and chat with our community at patreon.com/pixelparents. And if you're not on there, you can always leave a 5-star review on your podcast platform and share this podcast online with your friends. Of course, that really helps us out. And thank you to everybody that continues to join us each and every week. So, without the way, Scott, we're going to get to what we've been playing in a minute, but I think we should kick things off. With old Microsoft and Xbox Game Pass. It's getting a price increase, Scott. What do you make of that? We'll start there.
For doing so well this year, for building up so much goodwill within the community at large, people being excited about buying an overpriced handheld, and getting people hyped for the future, talking about Halo, Fable, Forza, all that pish, to then just say, but you thought that was good. Let's just bring it all back down to earth by unleashing the most egregious price increase that we've seen in a very long time. It is totally unnecessary, and having to pay for a stripped back version, a cheaper version is a stripped back version of Game Pass. Do you know what I mean? You've now got different tiers, a la PlayStation Plus, but it's just you have to pay more to get day one titles. It's that they've kind of taken the selling point away from Game Pass for me, to be truthfully honest with you. And I say that as someone who had cancelled it already. So, I'm sitting here with a fucking cigar, feet up on the table, pissing myself laughing, watching the downfall. But we've seen, the cancel page crash on the Microsoft website, and fucking rightly so. People have to vote with their wallets on these things, and they have to show them that Xbox cannot do this willy-nilly. To get people to pay £800 British for a fucking handheld tablet, do you know what I mean? That's going to basically play these games in a comparable way to what a Series S, maybe some games are a wee bit better.
It's closer to an X, actually. The X is anyway.
Well, the X is. That's what I mean. Sorry. So it's having to pay that amount of money to get not the same experience that you would get on a TV, but a lesser experience. But then say, the outlay for the consoles is bad, right? I get that, but pay £30 a month. Just do it, Pay £360 a year on top of that to enjoy all the games that you were playing before that point. It's just like a total kick in the balls. It's the price of gaming is just fucking ballooning right now, and it's it's not them. They don't. I mean, for all the cancellations and stuff, they'll see an impact there, but ultimately it's us that get harmed by it, because we can't play these games, and then you see more studio closures, and then everything fails. Xbox dies, and Bill Gates continues to live as a cyborg in the year 3000. It's the future, Liam, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, well, we've got some details, right? So I point everybody to go to Windows Central, because there might not be people as sad as us paying attention and all that, but we've got the details here from Windows Central. Jez Corden over there did a fantastic write-up. You should go check it out. Just search Windows Central Game Pass will be the first thing that pops up. But basically in there they've got one of the few UK comparisons of the actual pricing. So basically Xbox, yes, today they announced that they're going to be a 50% increase on their Ultimate plans, and they've now introduced a 3-tier system into the Game Pass model. So Game Pass Core is now Game Pass Essential, and that'll be $6.99 a month, in pounds, of course, $9.99. So that will give you access, so you get, your Xbox, PC and cloud. You get 50 plus curated Xbox and cloud games and PC, unlimited access to all that, plus stream your own game with longer waiting times. You get member deals, online multiplayer, the usual stuff, and Microsoft Rewards. Gaming's going up to $25, which is 25k points, and you get some in-game benefits for Riot Games and some others. Game Pass Standard is now becoming Game Pass Premium, so that's $14.99, which is now £10.99, so that's kind of replacing the standard one. That's now Game Pass Premium, and the difference is you'll get 200 plus games within that library of Xbox, PC, and cloud games. Same thing as always before. The new Xbox Game Studios games are going to be added up to a year after launch, but not Call of Duty. So that's the probably only smart thing here, is if you're just interested in it for Call of Duty, you still technically can pay the $10.99 a month on Game Pass Standard and get that. You don't have to go to the next tier up. You also have Microsoft Rewards. That game is up to $50 per year, which is 50k points, and you get the same benefits for Riot Games, Overwatch, and that. PC Game Pass is there, right? That's $16.49 or £13.49 a month. Windows PC only. You get 400 plus PC games on there. You get day one Xbox Game Studios titles like Call of Duty, EA Play Vault access, Ubisoft Plus Classics access, which is over 40 plus games in there. Usual member deals, discounts, and benefits, as mentioned before. The last one here, the one that's causing all the fuss, is Game Pass Ultimate. So that was previously $14.99 in pounds or $19.99 per month. It's going up to $29.99 or £22.99 here in the UK. So you get everything basically mentioned there in the PC tier. 400 plus games within the catalogue. You'll have a guarantee now, this is interesting, of 75 plus day one game launches per year. Now we can probably quantify that, and that'll also include indies and stuff like that as well. Unlimited access to cloud gaming and stream your own game. You get the shortest waiting times, 1440p resolution and boosted bitrate, which I think would be very appealing for someone that is buying like a ROG handheld.
Mm-hmm.
Day one Xbox Game Studios titles, including Call of Duty, EA Play, Ubisoft Plus Classics, the multiplayer, all that stuff in there. Now, they also dropped a bunch of other games in there as well, such as Hogwarts Legacy and a bunch of like Assassin's Creed games coming to it also, which is interesting. And
I mean, if you want to piss it off the internet, increase the price of Game Pass and drop Hogwarts Legacy at the exact same fucking time.
And a bunch of Assassin's Creed games, yes.
I mean, true, 100%, yeah. It's almost like, they want to annoy every person in the world.
Yeah, exactly. What I find interesting is that the PC tier has stayed the same, which is probably a smart move considering they're about to launch this Ally handheld device and they want more people within that ecosystem. So it tells me they're kind of almost focusing their attention on the more PC-style gamers out there. Console gaming, this price, I mean, my take from it all is that this is absolute jobby. I was saying on our Patreon earlier today, it's horrendous, man. Like, the cost of gaming, £22.99, Scott. Now, let me do some quick phone math here for you, because I am terrible with numbers. But I mean, that is, what, £275.88 a month. That's the same price as a baseline Steam Deck you can go buy for yourself. If you're going to, it just depends on your situation. Now, we're obviously talking about gamers such as ourselves who might have kids a little bit older. Game Pass does offer a very good proposition, but the fact that it's going up, it just kind of feels like, I don't know, about a bait and switch, almost like with these day one titles and all that. I'm like, that was the USP of this service, and it's not going away. They've just made it more expensive, and that just stings.
Liam, I disagree with you.
How?
I think it is going away.
You think it's going away?
I think it's become less about Game Pass as the appeal for being an Xbox, or like be it Xbox. Fucking hell, try and get your words out, Scott. I think Game Pass is less of the appeal for Xbox. It's more about this whole play anywhere pish now. Like, every single time you would watch an Xbox showcase in the past, if it was a game that was coming to Game Pass, it would be like, play it on day one, play it day one on Game Pass after every single trailer. But now it's like play anywhere. During the showcase at Tokyo Game Show, it was all about play anywhere. It was never really about the Game Pass part of it. Game Pass is an aside to it now. It's less of that's less of the sort of the appeal to actually getting this thing. It's now you can play this anywhere you want to. And that seems to be the strategy going forward, it feels like, for me. And this is a price increase, Liam, that also falls in the same fucking time as they've just announced a price increase worldwide for the actual consoles themselves as well. It's like,
Yeah.
if you do you like shit sandwiches, Liam? Would you care for another? Like, what next? Are they going to like
Yes, please.
fucking strap fucking controllers to my hands and make me slap myself in the face with them next? Do you know what I mean? Like, it can't continue like this. It really can't. And
Well,
how much can you blame? How much can you blame American politics for the increase on Game Pass, Liam? Like, where is the
well,
correlation there?
I think that's, for once, yeah, you're right. That's not coming because of that. Don't get me wrong, it's probably accelerated it because with these increases, just look at your energy bills in terms of how a capitalist market will operate. When there's an opportunity, they will take it for the almighty profit increase. But I do wonder what in the name of Christ they're thinking over there, because on the one hand, it's been the best year ever for Xbox Game Pass, like the most quality titles. I think about the amount of brilliant games I've played on Game Pass this year, right? Blueprints, Doom, Dark Ages. You've even had as recently as Hollow Knight Silksong and stuff like that as well come to day one. And it's definitely, for me, I've loved Game Pass more than ever. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, I just don't know. Like, the standard stuff, I'm actually pleased. I didn't realise the Call of Duty thing was on there. So I'm like, I'll quite happily pay that to just get into Call of Duty. But beforehand, I was saying to you, at that ultimate price, no. And I also would just prefer to buy Call of Duty on PlayStation, because that kind of justifies it for me, and then I get a few extra goodies chucked as well. But for $275, if I'm paying that money, not that I condone this, right? Say if you really wanted like a ROG Ally X, right? You could effectively just go Klarna that bitch and just go pay that $22.99 there instead, and then just get access to all these emulators and shit and just play to your heart's content. You know what I mean? Like, and you get a couple of months free of Game Pass with it anyway. So,
I mean, that is not endorsed.
That's gamer math.
That is
right
not
there.
endorsed by Pixel parents. I do apologise.
It's a terrible idea. Do not do it. But
it's hilarious though, because you're absolutely fucking right. Today, I wrote about it on Blue Sky. It's like, I wanted to have a really, really interesting quip about the whole thing, but every single time I wrote something, I was just like, I just can't be arsed anymore moaning about these things. It's just like, these things are changing relentlessly, and it's almost difficult to keep up. Like, this week it's Game Pass, next week it'll be, they'll limit the games you can play on Game Pass each month. Do you know what I mean? Like, they'll just say, if you're on the standard tier, you can only play 5 games a month. Like, you're fucked. Do you know what I mean? That is not an idea, Phil. Text me if you can, but just let me know you're okay. But I'm just fed up with it now, and it now just opens the door for PlayStation to do something even fucking more stupid. So we'll see how it goes. And the price of a Nintendo Switch is now looking pretty good when you look at these kind of things as well.
Join me, Scott. I think you're right though. PlayStation, the difference is they don't have this day one offering, and that's what needs to change for them to justify it. And I think they know it. But I think they're quite happy almost taking this more Apple-esque approach to being a little bit more prestige. And it's like, no, our day one titles, we will get the 80 quid or whatever it is for it, 70, 80 quid. But that's still to come. And I'm surprised it's not happened already. I thought it would have been Ghost of GOTY, but I wouldn't be surprised at the start of the next quarter, which is taking you into 2026, they will announce the price increases. Because usually, whenever it's the next financial quarter, this is where you get the shit sandwiches, such as today. They had the mass layoffs and all that as well this year, which was an absolute clusterfuck for them. And then now this. And on top of that, like the ROG Ally X, I mean, it's one of those things, cards on the table, right? If I could, I would, but I also don't want to. That's the thing. Like, I probably could, but I'm not going to, because I just can't stomach that price, even for the base one, for something that I'm not playing that often. But then I'm sitting there playing the Switch 2 all the time, and I love that, and it's also much more family friendly. So, which for me, at my stage of life, I think that's where I'm at just now. And I'm having the Switch 2 has just given me so much good times since I've got it as a family gaming console as well as my own. And that probably, it's like you said, that's probably a better option just now for me personally. But each to their own. I don't know. I've been intrigued to see what everybody's thoughts are. I'm pretty sure that everybody's not happy about having to pay more for it because it was a good deal. But
I was just going to say that to you there. I'm sure we'll see, you know, the nutcases out there being like, oh, I think this was a good thing for Xbox, you know. Xbox need the money, but I'm sure we'll see something out there. I'm keen to hear both sides of the argument here, but as I say, I cancelled it anyway because I wasn't playing anything on it in the first place. Like I didn't play Silk Song on it. I bought Silk Song. The price just made more sense in my head. But
where will we be jumping in then, Scott? That's what I need to know. Where are we jumping in?
If someone gifts me an Xbox sub, then you know, I'll be putting out the paper cup. Pay for my Game Pass, please. And we'll hop in. There's an absolute rammy going on upstairs. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
Oh dear.
My daughter is going to bed, and I think it's my dog's going absolutely apeshit upstairs. So,
well, what comes to us, you just go and I'll vamp here on my own briefly. But I think the last thing I'll say in it is, as a content creator, as the kids say, I can't in good conscience recommend like that ultimate price just now. And that's the thing that I'm going to be intrigued to see in the days ahead, because I did see one, I think it was Alex Donaldson at Eurogamer on Blue Sky, and he put out just a fantastic just kind of series of skeets about it. Just basically saying, like, you know, he's in a fortunate position where they can expense Game Pass onto the business card, as they should, because they need to cover the games. But even he's like, this just makes me want to cancel that. You know what I mean? Because the sentiment is so low. We even saw tonight that the cancel subscriptions page on Game Pass has crashed. So, I mean, they're going to have to ride this wave. There's a part of me that thinks they might revert it. I just don't know. They would have to take a considerable response. But for this to play into the Xbox Play Anywhere future, they need Ultimate. They need Ultimate to sell well. It can't be just for the super premium. It can't be just a freebie to give away to your best content creators. And that's how I'm going to be very intrigued and wary to hear what some of the bigger content creators have to say about it, because this is not, the reason I say that is something that we'll pride ourselves on this show, is that, you know, it can't be lost on us just how expensive this hobby's getting. And we can't sit there like we're nutters. We'll sit and buy all these games to talk about it. It makes good content and all the rest of it because we want to. But, you know, if it's not the case for a lot of people, and it's also like, you know, some people might only buy 2 or 3 games a year and forget these subscription things. You know what I mean?
Sorry,
mental.
I know we want to move on from this, right? But there will have been people in the world that will have only just bought an Xbox to play Call of Duty last year.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell.
Mad.
It's just crazy, man.
I know. But anyway, we should move on to something good. So I was talking about a Switch 2, Scott, right? So I'm going to start things off here, right? Because I'm choking at a bit to talk about it. And I've been playing a lot of the Switch 2 this week. And that's because Hades 2 is in my life, Scott. It's in my veins. It's in my soul. And let me tell you, man, this is good. This is as good as I've damn well hoped for the longest time. And if you've got a Switch 2 out there, man, or if you've got a PC, you need to go play this game. I imagine it's going to come to all other consoles. I don't know this, but I would expect it to be early next year. I can't see this exclusivity deal lasting long. But Jesus, finally, a Game of the Year indie release from last month, Scott. It's finally here. It's arrived. And I'm just been utterly blown away by it. You know what I mean? Come at me, internet.
It's honestly, it's setting yourself up for a fall.
Oh, honestly, no, come at me. This game is absolutely impeccable, Scott. Like, what Supergiant have managed to do here, it's just taking something that was already a 10 and they're squeaking it into a 10.5. Like, it is incredible. Like, you're playing as Millenoi, and it's basically the same cast of these gorgeous gods of Greece awaiting you, giving you all the boons, all your extra abilities and stuff. Same gameplay as Hades, but it's so refined and it's just as addicting as ever. The weapon variety there, it persists, giving you plenty of space for experimentation as well with your runs. Personally, me, I'm a skull man, loving the skulls, but I just can't stop playing it, man. Like, it's become part of my routine, and it's the fact that it is handheld. Just on, I think I was talking to you privately, like, I think we were talking about the Rogue Ally, and I'm like, I couldn't justify it for the amount of time I'm playing handheld lately, and this has completely flipped it on its head. It's absolute butter. And on the Switch too, it's a total must for that reason alone. Like, the game absolutely pops on this device, on this handheld mode in particular, really making me appreciate what Nintendo have managed to do, considering it's not an OLED device. But yeah, no score this week, but I think it will most certainly be in the Game of the Year consideration here and our conversation. It's a special game so far, man. Like, everything about it, I just can't get over it. It has been so polished, and the experience itself is just impeccable. Honestly, some of like the best moments of gaming I've had this year just playing this bad boy. It is so fucking good.
I mean, yeah, it should be. It should be, considering, you know, how good Hades was in the first place. I'm boycotting it because, you know, I don't have a Switch 2 and I'm not buying it on the fucking my Payless Switch. I'll just wait. I'll just wait till it comes to an actual decent place and then I'll play it. Or I'll buy a Switch 2. As I say, I'll commit. I'll maybe commit to that over Christmas time, but I'm in no rush. I mean, it's still going to be there. It's not as if I have to be part of that conversation yet, and it'll still be there. And that's where the growing up is happening, Liam. This is where the man has grown up. FOMO just doesn't exist for me anymore. It's games are games, and they're still going to be there. So I'll pick it up down the line, and it's one I've been anticipating for a while. So it's good to hear that it is as good as we wanted it to be.
Worth the wait, that's all I'm saying. I mean, this is something I remember when it came out in early access, that small moment of weakness. It's like, is there a way that I could just go on PC gaming for a small bit just to get my hands on this? But it's like, but wait, because yeah, I mean, you go back and look at that early access version to what they've done now, you see the polish that's been applied to it. But yeah, it'll be worth the wait. If anything, you know, if you get a Switch 2, this is like the perfect thing to kind of kick off that relationship with the console. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plus your toilet breaks will thank you. So that's all I'll say on that.
My legs will be dead. The time standing up, falling over off the toilet every single time I stand up.
Yeah.
It's an exciting thing. I mean, the Nintendo Switch 2 does need games, so it's good to see that it's doing really well.
Yeah, and it's still in its infancy. The console's only been out for like just over 3 months. It feels like it's been here longer, which is mad. But that's kind of given it a pretty steady cadence. It's been something really to get excited about almost every month with
100%.
it, which is good, and that's going to continue. You know, you've got other games on the horizon. Metroid Prime, obviously, Metroid Prime 4 being the big one at the end of the year for me, but I'm still deciding whether to pick up Octopath Traveler 0 on the Switch 2
Finish 2
or on the
first.
PS5. You know what I mean? I might just, but
Finish 2 first.
but even like I thought of you this week because of Final Fantasy Tactics, which is out this week.
I know.
Now, again, that's a game that, like you said, we've waited that long. Might as well just wait a bit longer. But these type of games just scream to be played on like a Switch 2.
I'm telling you, Liam, the day I buy a Switch 2, it will come home with a Final Fantasy Tactics on top of it, and then we'll get Hades downloaded on the way, and we'll be good to go.
That's all you need.
No Donkey Kong Bonanza or Mario Kart World in this house.
No, you'll have to. You'll have to. Just even for the family gaming moments alone, it's worth it. No, it really is.
My daughter will be playing Hades. It's Hades 2 or nothing.
Can I confess something? It's terrible. My son's been playing Hades 1 on his Switch. Like he saw me playing Hades 2, and I got up the other day, he's sitting playing Hades 1.
That's hilarious, man. getting his stripes in Hades 1. What a game, though. What a game.
I know. He's terrible at it, but yeah, it's fantastic. But anyway.
I mean, we all were.
Well, no, that's true. But you get better. If anything, it's like the fantastic. Roguelites are just fantastic for kids to teach them about dying in games. You know
100%,
what I mean?
Yeah. That's the reason that it's necessary to do it. Like,
yeah. Like he's had a weird thing lately where he doesn't want to play some games because he's afraid of the bosses. Like he gets really kind of intensely anxious about it, and I'm just like, it's fine. It's okay if you die. Just you'll learn from it and go back. And I get it because it sucks. Like nobody likes to die at a boss battle, but it's an important part of being a gamer. You must learn the ways, Scott.
It's funny you should mention it because dying to important boss battles is exactly something that I was doing this week with the only game that I've played on my Switch 2 since my Switch 2 game that I've played on my Switch since Hades probably was Fire Emblem Three Houses was finished last week.
Lovely. Would you give it?
Oh, it's a 10 out of 10, 100%. Like, it's a bug that is now with me for life, Liam, that, I'm even now looking at the trailers for the new one, being pure, you know, I could maybe jump on board with my Switch 2 in 2026. We could get on board with that.
This is it. It's all we needed. Fire
But
Emblem gets on
Fire
the Switch
Emblem,
too.
I'm telling you, man, like, it's I don't understand why the bug has bit me like this, but it was phenomenal. And carrying that whole team through, I was playing it on a difficulty that if your characters die, they're gone. So like you've got your wee army of people, and if you lose one, then you've lost them. You can use this thing called Divine Pulse, and it basically rewinds time and brings them back. But I was like, for the final battle, I'm just going to let whatever happens, and we'll see. And I managed to get up to the boss, work my way through the wee bit that you have to go through, work my way up through the boss, and right at the very end, two of my characters died. I was just like, but
Pain.
it added to the gravitas of that moment, Liam. I was like, at the end, it gives you like a breakdown of what happened in the story after. So like, where is Byleth? Where is your character? Where is Dimitri? What happened to Ingrid, Mercedes? Where have they all gone?
Shit.
But when you get to the characters that died, it just says died in the battle of such and such, and it's just like, quite sad. But what a game! And it's opened up a world where you could now go back and play it to experience the other two parts of the story, like what happened next. There's challenge runs that you can do as well. It might be something that over time I'll maybe pick back up, but not at this moment because, good lord, there are games, Liam, and I have been trying to play as many of them as I can.
Well, let's start at the top. I've got a
failing.
few in here as well, but let's stay on that. Pulling this thread outside of Firehouses. You've beat that this week. What then became your entree?
Firehouses. My obsession for this week has been Silent Hill Liam, and it's just the mainstay on this console now. The PS5 is now just
Nice.
the Silent Hill machine, and it's phenomenal. Like I've never played a game that I've wanted to have a photo mode more than this. Like I'm playing it, it's like this game needs a photo mode. Like some of the moments that you're walking through 90s, 60s rural Japan, it's like, holy God, I just want to take pictures for days. I want to have all the pictures of every single abomination possible. I want to have them all just catalogued on my PlayStation 5. But I was thinking I wrote my notes today, and I was like, how do I explain where I am with this game? Because I was like, I've got no idea, and I don't say this for jests, Liam. You know what I'm like, but I say this in all seriousness that I have absolutely no idea what's going on in the story. Like,
Really?
it's not a criticism because things are happening and I can see them happening, and the character moments and the relationships between Hanako and her friends and everything that's going on, and between that is great. Like this relationship that they all have together, the psychology of a teenage friendship group that has the love for each other but also has these horrible things to say about each other is just incredible. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've played a game quite like it. It's almost like playing, the inner monologue of a Life is Strange game, where it's like you're hearing the moments in people's heads, but you just see it written down in Silent Hill, and it's just like, why does she do this? Like, who the fuck does she think she is and stuff like that? It's class. Like, it's brilliant seeing it all develop, and I've been really enjoying that. I mentioned it before, but the depiction of 1960s rural Japan is incredible. It
Yeah.
nails its art direction, and it's quite possibly the biggest triumph in the whole game. Like, you legitimately feel that you're there. Everything has place and everything has purpose, and it's like, it is gorgeous to look at. Although it's covered in fucking fog for 90% of the time, it is beautiful. There's genuine standout moments where I've just like, even though there's not a photo mode, I'm taking a picture here because it needs to be documented. It is ridiculous. Hinako as a character, I'm not 100% sure of yet. Granted, I've maybe played it for about 4 or 5 hours, which I think you're probably around about, a third of the way through, maybe even halfway through it. But it's I've got to tell you, man, see the facial animations in this game,
Oh
and
yeah.
not even just the faces, see the eyes moving in this game. It's like you're getting so close to this uncanny valley moment where it's like, is that real? Like, it's bizarre watching it. Fucking, it's mad. But the kind of biggest criticism that I probably have for it is that it's not quite scary yet. Like, and I was saying this to you. This is quite possibly probably one of the only the only Silent Hill games that I'd recommend you play, um, because it's not got this terrifying feeling behind it. Is that
Right.
there certainly are moments where it's a horror game. It's less like boo horror, more like Halloween horror where everything just looks horrible. It feels more like that. Plus, it doesn't play like a Dark Souls game, but it plays more like an action game at moments where it's more combat focused than it is psychological warfare moments. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got a dodge, you've got light heavy attacks, you've got counters and stuff as well. Like the combat in it is serviceable. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you get multiple tutorials depending on the weapons that you get. Like, I picked up a massive fucking sledgehammer earlier on, and it was just like launching this thing around this class because you just see the damage that it does, and it's brilliant. But um, it adds an extra wrinkle to it. Like with Silent Hill 2, you're scudding things in the heat with a wooden freight, a wooden thing, and it's just smacking them over the head. Whereas this has more. You have to dodge enemy attacks. You can counter their attacks if they come at you a certain way. You can focus on it and counter that hit, so it then stuns them, and you can get more hits in.
Yeah.
It also has like a weapon degradation system, so it's like you can only hit them so many times. If it's a steel pipe, for example, you see it literally like deform as you hit them. So it's like the weapon will break over time unless you find a toolkit and fix it. So it's an extra wrinkle that you're constantly having to be aware of. Like, will I survive this enemy encounter, or can I just run away? 9 times out of 10, you're running away from that bitch because it's not worth the fight. You don't pick up things from them. You're fighting them for fighting's sake and just to clear a path so you can maybe have a look for things in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, is there going to be a document there that tells me more about the story? Is there going to be an item there that I can use to pay for upgrades? Like you can buy
Yeah.
yourself upgrades, health upgrades, stamina upgrades. There's um, like a mental upgrade that can, it's like a focus meter and things like that, so you can upgrade that. So it's like there's constant things that you're having to think about as you're playing this game that you're not quite focused on the scary parts of it. And I
Yeah.
think I enjoy that part of it, but it also feels like something's lost there. And I think part of the discourse for this whole game has been it's not a Silent Hill game. Like,
Right.
you
Okay.
could have slapped another name on this game and it could have been a separate horror franchise. And I do agree in some. I think there's some truth to that statement,
Is
but
it is it more resi?
no,
No.
no, it's definitely. I mean, it's definitely a Silent Hill game. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Okay. Okay.
100%, it's a Silent Hill game, but it's like a spin off for the series. I
Mhm.
think like how would you describe it? It's like a Peace Walker to a Metal Gear Solid 3. I mean, they're similar in tone, but different in the way that you go about playing it and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not all the same. There's differences there. Or a Metal Gear Acid or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it changes the usual sort of things that you would expect from the series, but
Yeah.
I think that spin-offs like this are necessary for a series like Silent Hill, because there's a reason why, prior to the short message in 2024, the one, the only Silent Hill franchise moment before that was PT in 2014. So it took 10 years for them to recover from, effectively killing off the franchise because it was turgid around that time, and Hideo Kojima reinvigorated it in a way, do you know what I mean? But Bloober Team are doing wonders with it, and it also sort of coincides with the fact that they are now working on the remake of the first Silent Hill game, which was announced this week, which I'm fucking buzzing about. Again, with you, there's not a score here because I'm
Too
nowhere
early.
near. I'm nowhere near ready for it,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think this game will demand more than one playthrough. I think
Right,
it's going to
okay.
need maybe 2 or 3 playthroughs to get the full picture of it. But what I will say is that if you're looking for a game that is intensely focused more on like the relationships between people, it's I said Life is Strange earlier on, and it's kind of like that in terms of the relationships these people have together. It's like Hanako, you've got like a guy called Shu, there's Rinko, and I'm pretty sure I can't remember, it's like Sasuko or something like that. So it's like the 4 members of a friend group, and it's like how they are together, and like the relationships that the interrelationships they have with each other, how they feel about each other. There's unrequited love in there. There's different things, and it's just like it's so interesting, and that plays out in real time as you watch it, and you're like, what a total bitch! Like you're playing along with it. You're like that they are horrible to each other, but it's mad. Like it's class. If you're looking for something that gives you, that relationship between people, if you don't mind looking at really horrible features in the world, like you don't mind looking at bloody turgid messes, then this might be the game for you. If you can forgive combat, me being a bit. I'm not. I'm. Not, it's you either go one way or another way with it. Like you
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
really tight combat system, or you have something that's just really basic.
Mm-hmm.
This tiptoes a line that it's sort of on like a complex system, but not quite complex enough, and
Yeah.
doesn't feel quite fluid enough. Um, but still, it manages to get away with it. Like it's annoying as I'm playing it. I'm like, if I could get through combat encounters quickly enough, then great. And that's what I did. I played it on the hardest mode to begin with, and I was like scudding these things for 10 minutes, and I was like, "There's no point in me doing this." Like
Yeah, yeah.
the end result is always the same. So I think I was about an hour in at that point, and I was just like, I'll restart it, just go back over it again because there's no point suffering through this for nothing. So
There's really
um,
not, man.
nobody's going to thank me for it. So it's been cool, and it's nice to play a Silent Hill game. Do you know what I mean? Like it's nice to play a Silent Hill game in 2025 after 2, but yeah, that's basically me. It's living in the mind, Liam. That's the thing. It's totally in there, and it's cool, man. So I'm
I like
excited to
that.
get back to it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to hear what your final verdict is on it. It sounds like it's been a blast in the game. Just nothing but positivity around this
Yeah.
game, which is cool in the year of our Lord 2025 for getting good Silent Hill games. But, I mean, it's well been overdue the comeback. It's good that they're kind of continuing that momentum by the sounds of it. And I'm with you, like, see when it gets to the hard mode stuff, sometimes there's not enough to be said for just lowering the difficulty a bit, man. Just you can play it normal, you can play it easy, whatever it is, just to plug on through it. And it's like, do you know what? However you want to enjoy the game, especially when you're limited on time, it's the best thing
Yeah.
to do all the time, man. So yeah, nice, good on you for doing that as well. But it sounds like you're still enjoying it regardless. Like it doesn't add or take away from the experience,
It's
does
still
it?
hard. It's still fucking hard anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Still kick your ass either way. Me, I've had a couple other things, Scott, that I've got to, and some other ones I've not got to,
Ooh.
because time and Hades 2 exist. But also, over the past week, over the weekend, FC26 had come out as well, so I picked that up. I had a little bit of birthday vouchers kicking about, so I thought, do you know what? That's a game that I'll always chip away at through the year because, the filthy casual in me will enjoy doing that. And also, for my sons being a Manchester United fan, among other things, it's the only place I can witness United winning a game of football, which is good. He cries. But yeah, it's played a bit. It's all I will say right now, it's too early for me to really kind of go in depth on it yet. But the authentic mode that they've added to it just ain't it for me, man. Like, it's too slow. I think even the most simulation friendly of people out there, the sickos, will find it too slow. Because I was kind of hoping it'd be a little bit different. In terms of like maybe it's something a little bit closer to Pro Evolution Soccer back in the day. Ain't the case at all. It's actually just stick with the classic mode, the competitive mode, just for that classic FIFA type experience. But I've not had enough time to really get granular with the gameplay of the game. I spent a lot of time just in my career mode, which is what I'll play it for, and just kind of setting stuff up and scouring markets. Didn't actually get to play a game, but it was good to kind of do that over the weekend. Again, my son had joined me, just watching me just kind of mastermind my way back to mid-table with Manchester United. So yeah, that's that's the dream. But because of Hades 2, man, like the Assassin's Creed DLC, unfortunately, I'm not returning here this week with a verdict on it because that has fallen victim to Hades 2 and the Underworld. But we've also got Ghost of GOTY, which will be out by the time this episode hits. It'll be out actually in a few hours when we're recording this. But there's a big gaming event happening in this household as well, Scott. And that is Super Mario Galaxy 2, which is coming out. Now, my son and I were buzzing. I'm buzzing to get back to playing the best 3D Mario game again, and he's buzzing because he's never played Super Mario Galaxy 2, naturally, because he's 5. I just can't wait to get my hands on this, and it's going to be... That's the thing that I'm kind of building up to this weekend. It's like, right, we'll get to the weekend and we're going to play Super Mario Galaxy 2, so we'll just make sure everything's... You kind of use that as a bargaining chip, so make sure the toys are away, make sure everything's all cleaned up, all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to kind of reporting back on that little trip down memory lane, because not enough people played Super Mario Galaxy 2, man. Like back in 2010 when it came out, it just felt like the Wii was kind of well over at that point, and we're well into the throes of the 360 PS3 generation, and it was a 10 out of 10 that really did come and go for a lot of people, I have to say. But that's good because it's sitting there waiting. I wouldn't pick up the double package. I would honestly just go buy Galaxy 2. I was
going to ask, did you buy 1 and 2 or just 2?
No. I've got 3D All-Stars. I've got the physical collection over there on my shelf, which was my pride and joy until my son's just mucky fingers all over it. But so yeah, it's out of print. You can't get it anymore. But Galaxy's on there, and I know this one's slightly different. But I'm like, if I want to play Galaxy, it's there. I'm not going to be buying that again because it's on the same device. I was tempted to pick up the physical edition again, but I saw it was like, at first I thought it was 80 quid, but then I saw places like Game Collection and stuff were doing it for 50 quid, which is a great price for that, I would say, because you're getting that 15 quid reduction across 2 prices. So if you can pick that up, do it. It'll retain its value. But I just got it digital on Switch 2 just because I felt like I had to. My son, all things Mario, because he put up his Switch, so after the Nintendo Direct, it has all the trailers and stuff like that in the news section. So he starts to ask, what's this? Is this Mario Galaxy? Is there a new man? So he's absolutely buzzing for it, as am I. So I'll report back next week, let us know how it goes, and obviously with more thoughts on Ghost of GOTY, which I'm excited in playing. Hades 2 has just been the perfect game for in-between stuff. Second screening it, of course, I suppose, like just sitting in with my wife for the evenings, watching TV. I've got the Switch 2. Might have something in the background she could be reading or something. That's just great. Like that's one thing that I do love about having these kind of handheld devices. Whereas if I'm back here in the den, it's just going to be I'm lost. Time goes by, and but a flash. But yeah, we should move on, Scott, to our main topic. Before we do, I think it's time just to remind people, if you do enjoy this show, you can support us on Patreon by joining our free Patreon community. So just visit patreon.com/Pixel Parents for every show, chats and bonus shows, including Side Quest with Scott, free all the time. And of course, don't forget to listen to this show on YouTube, Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. The side quest for Scott this week is to do the side quest with Scott.
I mean, that's it. But if you have any suggestions on things to talk about, hit me up, because I can never think. I'm too stupid. So
I honestly just want to hear about Scott's day. That's it. I think that's what gives people what they want.
How many shites I've done that day, probably.
Yeah, just a 5-second video, just with the number.
5.
10.
5. There you go.
We as a community can
definitely 5,
watch on in awe and worry about your bowel movements. Christ.
That's what everyone needs to know about.
We've went blue. But go find us out there, patreon.com/Pixel Parents. Come join us. It's good. We're just getting things up and moving there, and we're just great to see more people engage with us on that. and just, yeah, let's have a chat, talk about games, let's talk about stuff, let's talk about anything that's bothering you. We're here, we're a safe space, and we're all grumpy old parents as well at the same time. But let's move on, Scott. It's time for the main topic this week. So we've talked a little about the likes of Hades 2, I even mentioned the likes of Ghost of GOTY, Super Mario Galaxy 2, all things I mentioned in the past there, and it's all hitting gamers this week. So this week I thought it'd be a good idea for us to look back at the sequels that went one better and really delivered the goods. And I'm talking about the big dogs here. Let's explore the kind of rare breed of those follow-ups that actually raised the bar and actually went one better than the originals themselves. And what makes them stick with us, Scott? That's the big question. So I'm going to pass it over to you to kick things off, because I always like to kind of tee you up with the big question. Give me one sequel that you think just really outshone the original, went one better, took that original blueprint and just went, do you know what? I've got this.
I've
I'll
got
show you how
this.
it's done.
This is the way it should be forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, Liam, let me talk to you about a video game series called Metal Gear Solid. For the first time.
For the first time ever. Here we go.
For the first time ever, I want to talk about Metal Gear Solid.
Play the hits.
And let's talk about a video game. Let's talk about a video game called Metal Gear Solid 2.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, in my learned opinion, the best Metal Gear Solid. I'm saying it. I'm actually going to say it out loud. It's a masterpiece in tone. It's a masterpiece in gameplay. It is a masterpiece in everything that you know and come to expect from Metal Gear Solid, and it builds on everything that you already know from the first Metal Gear Solid. Do you know what I mean? Like that technological jump from the first Metal Gear Solid, where Snake's face looks like shit, looks fucking terrible. It's a couple of square lines on a face to you can literally see the hairs in that man's beard. In the PS2 days, it's just perfect. It's perfect. It's a perfect sequel,
Mm-hmm.
and it had no right being that good. Like, you could have easily have just gone down the road of farting out another Metal Gear Solid 2 for the PS1, and it's just the same game rehashed, same graphics and stuff. But Hideo Kojima, love him or loathe him, it's a fucking ridiculous undertaking that man made at that point, and I would say it stands head and shoulders above a lot of games. Now, I'm sure you'll tell me I'm wrong, but Metal Gear Solid 2 is just a triumphant sequel for me.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good way to kick things off. Well documented on this show. If you haven't done it yet, there's a reason why we'll keep going back to that series, because it is that good. And I should also add that the trick to this here, it has to be a 2. Can't be a 3, can't be a 4. So that might kibosh your list here a wee bit, but I'll leave you to stew in it. But I'm going to stay on the theme here and stay on what you're talking about with another Hideo Kojima game, and I think it's Death Stranding 2, which is one that's came out recently this year. And this is one that I thought I'll keep this for later, but most for on the subject of that man, the myth, the legend. Can be a frustrating man, Hideo Kojima, but also when he gets it right, man, the hype is just unlike anything else. And the gameplay is just absolutely superb, and that's what he did. I always said that, but in the lead up to it, I wanted more substance and less style, Kojima. And here he kind of had his cake and eat it, because Death Stranding 2 is weird as all hell. Like, it is absolutely batshit nonsense, the story. It's so nonsensical to the point where it's just kind of like you kind of find meaning where there is very little at points. You kind of get what he's trying to say, but I still don't think he has as adept a hand at really communicating the meaning and purpose behind it, but he makes up for it with just absolutely scintillating gameplay. The loop in Death Stranding 2 is every bit better than the proof of concept, which was the original Death Stranding. Like I said, it's taking a 6 out of 10, taking it to a 9 for me personally.
God.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I agree with you. I do agree with you. Death Stranding 2 is a better game. In that, what I think Death Stranding 2 doesn't do well is you don't get enough walking in it. Like, you have a vehicle within the first 15 minutes to that. No, and
That's
that's
the
good for
beauty.
people who don't
It's the
want
beauty.
that, right? And that's fine, but it becomes a game about driving everywhere, and that's not what Death Stranding is. Do you know what I mean? Like the first Death Stranding game was you were walking everywhere. You know what I mean? I remember I remember walking up to it was like a power plant up at the right side of the first map, and see trying to work your way through that point. It was incredible. Like it was brilliant, and it really made use of all the different things, like the ladders and stuff like that. Whereas in the second one, they were just defunct. Like it was just they were there for moments. Now, I can take that because the rest of the game was incredible. Do you know what I mean? Like Death Stranding 2 is up there with my games of this year, but
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, it improves on everything that Death Stranding 1 had done already. So
Yeah, I think it absolutely surpassed that. I mean, even like in the performances themselves as well,
yeah, 100%.
like
That's
everything.
what I
I
was going
mean,
to say. The
we
actual
didn't
acting and moments in it were considerably
like
better.
we gave him some flowers, right? But I don't think we lingered enough on Troy Baker's performance as
Oh
Higgs in
fuck!
that game
I
enough
mean,
because
you need to
it
devote
was
an entire podcast to it because it's
unbelievable. The
disgusting.
redemption of Troy Baker this year,
Aye,
that performance alone,
and
wow,
I
that's all
mean,
I'll say.
Tommy Earl Jenkins does need something in there as well.
Yeah, yeah, he does. He does.
Not emotional, but made me emotional. You know.
Certain kinds of emotions, I'm sure.
Aye.
Absolutely fantastic. But that was the thing when it got weird, it decided to not take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt like what you said about the walking and all that in the first one, it did have a tendency to insist upon itself a bit.
Yeah.
Death
No, it did.
Stranding, and
100%.
the thing I hated the most in Death Stranding, and it's still the same in second, is the BT engagements. Right, I found them meandering, didn't enjoy them at all, and I still didn't. But I loved that there was more opportunity to bypass when you could possibly just kind of blaze through it.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, teach their own. So I'm not saying that is definitive. That was just for me personally. But yeah, Death Stranding 2. I think that's one that did surpass the OG. And it doesn't have to be by much. 3 points isn't that
Oh
much at the
yeah,
end of
no,
the day.
definitely. It's
So
it's
yeah, I'll leave it.
absolutely up there. You've ruined my next choice, Liam, but I'm still going to say it anyway because
No, you can't.
no,
Break
I
the
am.
rules.
I am. I'm going to say it in a way that is what's the word? I'm going to do it in a way that makes it, and you'll understand why. But one of your favorite games of all time is a little title called Batman: Arkham Asylum. Now I want to have a chat about Batman 2: Arkham City.
Batman 2. That's such an old dad.
It's so stupid.
You playing the Batman 2 there?
The Batman 2. Arkham City.
Mhm.
It's if Arkham Asylum is the blueprint, Arkham City is, the structure.
Yeah, yeah.
The what's the word? The skyscraper. Like, I mean, it is ridiculous. Just the fact that you managed to get gliding. You can glide across that whole damn place. The boost, the grapple boost is quite possibly one of the most satisfying things in video games. And when you pull it off, it's amazing. You know, the rogues gallery of villains.
Rogues galleries.
You know what I mean? The rogue. What is the word? The rogues gallery of villains.
No, that's right. I'm saying it's the rogues galleries of
Aye.
rogues galleries. Like,
Aye, like the list of these villains and how they're dotted around Arkham City. Like you can find Calendar Man hiding in the courthouse. Do you know what I mean? Like you can see all these things being left behind, and that's before you even factor in all the villains that are in there as well. I mean, we even got like a decent Mister Freeze in this one. I'm sorry, Arnold, but that wasn't it.
kill the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Of course. But yeah, it did everything better than Arkham Asylum. I think Arkham Asylum is a tighter experience, 100%. Like it's definitely a tighter experience, and as a a short movie, it is amazing. But this is the blockbuster. This is the picture, the motion picture of the game that really sort of took everything, elevated it, and then Night surpassed it all.
Like, I mean, in terms of dropping the ball, but you know me, right? I'm the resident Arkham nutter here, right? And you're right. Arkham Asylum has a special place in my heart because you never forget your first, right? But I cannot disagree here. You're absolutely right. Arkham City does surpass Arkham Asylum in every way. It's the only thing that it lacks for me, and the only thing that it takes the biscuit is the atmosphere, because it's a very different, and I think it's because it is a bit rough and ready Asylum, whereas City is more polished. But the second you boot up that game, you know that this is a sequel that is going to surpass the original, and it's all thanks to Nick Arendo's score, the Arkham City theme. Compare that to the kind of more electronic based stuff that you get from Arkham Asylum, which is good, but it's not, again, it's just more representative. You go and listen to the menu music on that and compare it to Arkham City, you know already from the get-go. Then the opening of Arkham City, right, absolutely beats the original. Like, it does, hands down. That's one of the greatest openings to a game ever. Sets the scene perfectly for a Batman tale.
Yeah.
Then you're in there, the actual, Arkham City itself, the playground, this thing where, like, we can't do the whole Gotham City yet. So they showed some restraint, which always impressed me. But we want to give like a kind of mini Gotham, the gliding and that to get around the traversal, and the way that the cadence of which that story plays out. It's just a fantastic Batman tale. And the one thing that it definitely does do better is the ending. The last boss battle in there, which I won't. Can I spoil? How old is the game? 15 years old?
Spoil it.
Well, I'm saying, like, you've got the likes, obviously, Joker's part of it. You'll be fighting other ones in there as well. But it does a better job than the final boss battle in Arkham Asylum with Titan Joker was weird. It was very video gamey. It rips you out the experience, and whereas City, it still kept you in there as a Batman video game, a Batman tale. And yeah, totally with you, man. Like, I've actually got here on my list as well, because everything about it, even like the Riddler challenges, everything, they just took everything up a notch and escalated it by just the right amount. They really hit the sweet spot to make it surpass it. And then obviously Night is what happens when you go a little step too far, because there's something. Night's, still one of the greatest looking games of all time. It's not a bad game at all, but it's not hitting the same heights as what City, for me personally, Asylum had did. But it hits its own ones, but I think they just bit off a little bit more than they could chew. And that's its only crime, really, that and the Batmobile. But that's its only crime. But yeah, it's a good one, Scott. I'm not disagreeing. I've got other ones in here. So this is one that you will thoroughly enjoy. For me, it has to be Pokemon Gold and Silver. Yeah, sorry. I have to give it a shout out here, Scott. It has to be done. There's other ones in here. I've got plenty here, but Pokemon Gold and Silver, Scott, surpassed the original Red and Blue, even Yellow, in every which way. So much so that they didn't just surpass it, they went and bloody included the original location in the damn thing in the first place. This end game out of nowhere. It's like, what? I get to go back to Kanto. As a child, that blew my mind. It still does. This might be one of the greatest discoveries we've made in gaming. Like, I was like, what?
I've been on a little bit of a tear recently watching YouTube videos with Pokemon in it. Nice. I'll try and find the person that does the actual videos themselves to give them a shout out. But he's talking about catching all the Pokemon in like each game, filling up a Pokedex and stuff like that. And it's hilarious. Yeah. Like, I didn't realize how much it was, like how difficult it was and stuff as well. Like, Johnston does all these videos catching like a living dex and stuff like that as well, catching like all the shinies in certain games. And I didn't realize how in depth it all got. So much so that it almost fueled a little moment where I was like, I could go back and play a couple of these games. I really could. I could life finds a way. But then I was just Scott, you're a 33, almost 34-year-old man.
Scott, you could do it if you took my advice and didn't buy Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and just went and bought yourself a Rock Ally X with the same money. Do go on.
It's
emulator
ridiculous, but no, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's my only criticism of Pokemon is that, as a game and a franchise, how do you change that in a way that's meaningful? Like, how do you make changes to that normal gameplay?
You can only get away with it so many times, and the reason why this worked is because it was the first time they did it, so
Yeah,
they could escalate
exactly.
it and change it up and add in new sprites and all the rest of it. But then, like, even a lot of people have love for, like Emerald and Ruby and stuff like that as well. And by that point, I had moved on to Cool for School. Just a brief hiatus. But even like going back to it with like Diamond and Pearl, and I was just kind of like the same. I remember having that thought, and it's been the same ever since. It's like, I don't really know if I can do this, but
Yeah.
what it is, it's a very good gateway drug into a turn-based JRPG.
Yeah.
And when I remember when that dawned on me when I was younger, thinking, I don't know if I like these type of games, like Pokemon. It's like, oh wait, right, I get it now.
I
It
do,
makes sense.
actually. I love them.
That's it. I'm Pokemon daft, but yeah, it's one of those ones I thought I just had to get a shout out because the streets might forget, especially in the eve of Pokemon's are, which doesn't look good at all, man. Like, again, not talking enough about this. You're going to get the usual Pokemon fans that will know more and are more invested than I. And if they're happy with it, good on them. But for me, as someone that wants that reason, every time there's a new mainline Pokemon game, I want that feeling I got when I saw Gold and Silver.
Mm-hmm.
And which is, wow, like this looks completely different and new and fun, and they're really just shaking things up. And yeah, ain't going to be. But Gold and Silver, though, outshone the original for me. What's your next one?
I went back in time, Liam. I transported myself back to 2009 just to have a conversation about a Naughty Dog game. Now, we all remember the first Uncharted game, don't we? We all remember that game.
We do.
And
Lovable.
fondly remember it. But Uncharted 2 was like the moment where, it cemented itself as being a decent game to be in like the franchise at that moment, like
Yeah.
this is where the big boys play. Just the train sequence alone, do you know what I mean? Like just watching that again recently, I was like, my God, this game was incredible, man. Like it obviously has its bad moments. Like trying to shoot guns in Uncharted games are an absolute nightmare. Trying to hit anything is just, I might as well not bother. But just the story, the set piece moments, even having the characters come back, like feeling like Sully is a familiar face at that moment. You're like, oh, there he is. There's my man. But I just love it, man. I just love Uncharted.
Yeah.
There's always a moment in time where I'm like, I could play the Uncharted series all over again, and I've done it fairly recently, but I'd love to go back and do it all over again. Just go back and play Uncharted 2 all over again. It's just,
I
what a
used
game,
to.
man.
I used to do it around about Christmas time, and I absolutely agree with you on that, man. Like, up this on my list, Uncharted 2 is almost like the prototype for this topic, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's a game that I so closely associate with the Christmas holiday season because I remember playing it, getting it for my Christmas and sitting playing it with nothing more than a bottle of Captain Morgan's, and that was me. I got absolutely shit-faced. Everybody's downstairs enjoying Christmas. Obviously, I wasn't completely antisocial. It was more of an evening thing, and I repeated the feat with Uncharted 3. But Uncharted 2, man, like, you're right, back then, 2009, it felt like gaming was really entering its cinematic swing at that point, and you had the likes of Gears of War and Halos and all that were catching up, and Uncharted was really there to stake a claim. It's like, no, this is where we're wanting gaming to go, and we're going to be the flag bearer for that. And it hit heights that very few reach. And to be fair, it was the high point of the series. I'm not a Uncharted 3 doubter, but obviously I prefer Uncharted 2. It's my favourite game in the series. I think 4 comes very close to it.
Yeah.
But it's so impressive for a game of the quality bar being that high, and that still remains a lot of people's favourite in the series as well. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, it surpasses it in every way possible. Like, the stakes are immediately raised. So much more fun to play. And yeah, it's an absolute blast still to this day. I think you can go play it on the Uncharted collection.
Yes.
It's still absolutely fantastic. Whilst you're there, go play Lost Legacy as well, which is also amazing.
Maybe Naughty Dog should release them, re-release them, remake them, rather than remaster and Last of Us 2 again. Let's just get Uncharted done.
I think people would take that. You know what I mean? I think The Last of Us needs a bit of a break. It definitely does need a bit of a break. It's kind of been, for 2 games to be remastered and re-released the amount of times they've had, TV series, all the rest. Yeah, it's going to get Walking Deaded soon. That's the new term.
Walking Dead.
But I've I'm only going to pick one more that I'll go in depth on, and then we'll kind of do a quick fire one, just so that I'm conscious of time as well on this one. But my last kind of in depth pick on this one, and I'm going to say here, Scott, it might surprise you, because I'm trying to pick ones that I haven't mentioned before, and it's Horizon Forbidden West, because I do think this is a sequel that does surpass the original in every which way. A game that was out, was it last year before? Sony's big PS5 exclusive anyway, and did tremendously well. Very much it moved units, did the business, and it's an absolute looker on PS5, but also PS5 Pro, going back and revisiting on that. And this is another one that understood the assignment, which is, right, Horizon Zero Dawn was a great game, which is an 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a great game, but how do we get that extra point? It's not a 10 out of 10 Forbidden West. It's definitely what I would say is a good 9, solid 9 out of 10 for me. And everything about the game, they added in, they streamlined it, they added in more fun, they made things a lot more kinetic and fluid in the gameplay. And then, of course, you've got the aesthetic stuff,
I was
which
going to
is
say the
looks in that.
The aesthetic
unreal.
jump from the first Horizon to the second Horizon is staggering. Like, maybe not now because it's they've maybe on par with the re-release or remaster of the first one, but the initial release of Horizon to this one, it's mad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. I actually felt that the story, albeit the end was a bit weird, the first story felt a little bit more, because it could play with the mystery a little bit better, the cat's out the bag, but it did well with what was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it definitely surpasses the original in every way, and it's one that I would thoroughly recommend people go check out. I think it's on PS Plus as well, so you can get a chance to kind of get your hands on it if you don't want to go shell out the full booner
money for it.
and do it before they raise the prices, which seems to be the theme of everything this week. But yeah, well worth it. I've got a kind of a more quick fire list for I want to ask a question on this topic for you, but the rest of the ones I had down here, Scott, and let me know if I've got any matching pairs. Of course, you've got the likes of Mass Effect 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Assassin's Creed 2, Last of Us Part 2, Street Fighter 2, and of course, Alan Wake 2, which is on PlayStation Plus this month. You should go play that. Any ones in there that you've got or added yourself, Scott?
You mentioned all of them. Just in name, I wasn't thinking about Mass Effect 2 and stuff like that because I couldn't make a case for why it's better. It's just better. But Red Dead Redemption 2 was a massive one, substantially better. Borderlands 2, maybe.
Yeah. No, it is. Borderlands 2 is so much better than the first one.
The only one I've played. So
the best one.
I mean, the good one. But yeah.
Sure. I've totally forgotten that Borderlands 4 even came out. There's been that much stuff out there. See, in another year, right, I probably would have just got the old boredom FOMOs and just would have bought that because it's Borderlands. Like I did that with Borderlands 3. But this year, not a chance. Totally forgot one.
I'm surprised that Randy hasn't showed up to your house and told you to buy it.
Make Randy Pitchford in charge of Xbox PR. That's the last step now. That's what they have to do.
Oh, what a match made in heaven.
Like, if you're going to go down in flames, Xbox, you might as well do it in absolutely the brightest, most fuel-drenched flames possible with Randy Pitchford at the wheel. But yeah, whatever. Fuck that guy. So we've got the next one here, which is, we'll talk about these sequels about showing the sequel. This is the fun part here. I want to see if you can make any predictions here, any fun ones you've got up your sleeve, any sequels yet to be announced that you think have potential to surpass the original, Scott. Any ones that come to mind?
Concord 2.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good one.
Fable 2.
Juicy. Fable 2.
Perfect Dark 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the main ones that I'm thinking of. Games that will definitely see the light of day. It's an interesting question. Donkey Kong Bonanza 2? maybe.
Yes. I can't wait to see it in 20 years' time.
Bring back Diddy Kong. What's all this hate
play.
for Diddy Kong, by the way?
Did
Like,
you play that game?
no,
So
I don't want to play it. But why is Donkey king of the world? Diddy was equally as important in the first Donkey Kong game.
There has been a shift I've noticed in the world generation in the past few years, is that people have just like, boo, get rid of that guy's like the Scrappy Doo of the Donkey Kong universe.
I'm not having it. I'm really not having it. But it's funny you should mention Scrappy Doo. I'm sorry, this is going to derail this whole point, right?
Have you watched the movie?
I
Is that
was
what it is?
thinking about watching the movie
Yes.
in the last few days, and it's purely just because of what do you call her on it? Linda Cardellini
Oh,
plays Velma.
yes.
It's
Velma.
like that was like an awakening back in those days. Like,
I thought you were going to say Rowan Atkinson.
no,
But yeah.
Rowan Atkinson. Yeah, I mean, I really jive with that one. But Sarah Michelle Gellar
Does
is
look flying it, to be fair.
heartthrob. You know what I mean? She was like Earth Angel.
Freddie Prinze Jr. as well,
Freddie
back
Prinze
when he
Jr.,
was,
yeah.
the
And
pin-up.
What'd you call him? What's the other guy? Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
Pulling that name right out my ass there. But
Fantastic, Shaggy.
Linda Cardellini was, and still is, just ridiculous, man.
An underappreciated Rose.
An underappreciated Rose deserves those flowers. But yeah, I'm not having this Diddy Kong hate. I'm not having it. I'm going to start a movement because he needs.
Do you know the best way to do that is to go play Donkey Kong Bonanza?
No,
That's all
I don't want to. I don't want to give Donkey Kong any more time than he deserves. Make a Metroidvania, but just make it Diddy Kong related. There you go.
Oh, just play it, Scott.
No.
Oh, God, just play it.
How
it's
dare
so
you?
good. I've got one for you.
Right, okay.
In terms of a sequel yet to be announced. It's an easy one to get started, which is Clear Obscure Expedition 33. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Expedition 34 too.
Yeah. I don't know I do not know what the hell they'd call it, right? And no spoilers of what happens in that game, but there's breadcrumbs in there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many directions they could go. And really the gameplay's that good. You could see them just adding wee layers into that combat system, probably expanding the overworld, the movement set and all that a little bit when you're exploring, adding a map, the story. I mean, it's all there for the sequel to do an Arkham City, effectively. Just
100%.
right,
yeah.
proof of concept, here we go.
What about Cuphead too?
Yes.
Just more Cuphead than normal. More
That's
Cuphead.
all these things need to do. Just make it more Cupheadier. That's
Stellar Blade 2.
Here's one you'll like, Scott. Sekiro.
Yeah. I would do ridiculous things for that game, man.
Shadows Die Twice 2. Yeah.
Yes.
See? Writes itself.
Shadows
What's
Die
that for a name? Twice here.
Twice here. Metaphor Refantasio 2. Metaphor 2 with a different tagline. I'm just going through my PlayStation list now of like recent games that I've played.
I've got my curated one here, right? A couple of easy ones here, Scott. Bloodborne. Okay, obviously, so we've spoken about that at length. Sleeping Dogs, bring that back, make it a sequel.
God, yeah.
Yeah, see? Get that announced. Watch the internet explode.
The Order 2.
I've got that here. 1887. Telling you, man. PlayStation, they might be nuts enough to do it. If you're getting Concord 2, you know what I mean? They might as well just chuck that in there as well.
Throw in there, it's like a double pack. You know, they're both similar games.
I've only got two more here that my predictions, right? One that we just played, the Nightland. Telling you, the Nightland 2 has that potential.
100%, yeah. It's if you're talking about sequels being the kind of games that tighten everything and it comes out better for it, 100%, yeah. What else have I got on my list? I'm just having a look at all the games that I now have on the PlayStation.
Right, my last one then. What's your looking? Last one here I firmly believe in because it's a game that I felt was fairly judged but has been improved upon since, and it's better, and it shows as well, like, if you give it time, let them cook, a sequel would go one better. Easy. And it's almost taken inspiration from Uncharted 2. Me, Star Wars Outlaws, telling you, you give that one another one, and it will be better, Scott. it will surpass it in every which way, because there is a fantastic game in there people should be going to play. Also on Switch too. But it's fantastic.
Apparently runs really well on the Switch too as well.
Yeah. It's a great, honestly, it's a great game, man. I gave it a 7. I think stand by it, but I think even with all the DLCs and stuff like that, you could be between that 7 and 8 now, but even a 7 out of 10 game, man, it's great. I think if you saw that in a sale, you're a Star Wars fan, you want something to be a bit more open world than that, I definitely recommend you check it out. But a sequel for that would easily surpass the first, and I think it deserves a shot. I really do. I think Massive deserves a shot at a sequel with it.
Definitely. Sifu too.
Yeah,
I could have a
C2.
I could enjoy a C2. I know it's technically been confirmed, but also unconfirmed. Really, Control 2.
Well, it's in the works, isn't it?
It's in the works, but not officially. So I'm taking it. And just looking at what they've managed to do with Alan Wake, and I can't wait to see what comes from that. Anthem 2. Now that EA are,
like it.
Yeah, less said about it. Prey 2.
Prey 2 is a good shout.
I'm just wanting games that will never exist anymore, like games that will just never see the light of day. I mean, there's already a second one, but if we can go on sequels for the second game, Knack 3, Liam.
Well, yeah, I think that, Knack 3 has to be in there.
That can be the marquee signing of all this.
What's Mark Cherney doing? You know what I mean? Making luxury pro consoles that don't deliver what they said they were going to. You know what I mean? Absolutely get your thumb out your ass, Mark. We want Knack 3. This is ridiculous. Where is Knack 3? Every state of play, we hope. And the thing is, though, they could announce it tomorrow and I still won't buy it.
Still won't buy it. Imagine the haptic feedback on all the Knack pieces. I mean, come on now.
Incredible. Do you know what? Give Knack 3 to Team Asobi, watch it fly.
Yeah.
Watch it fly.
I mean, you're probably right. Was Knack 3 an Astrobot? Was Knack an Astrobot?
He was, yeah.
Was he? I don't remember him being an Astrobot.
I believe he was anyway.
There you go. That's a second one.
Oh, now you're talking. It was right in front of us, Scott. Right in front of us. I did actually manage to pick up for my son Astrobot Funko Pop because he's Astrobot obsessed. And yeah, if you've got a wee one in there that enjoys Astrobot, pick it up for them and make their day. It's his wee face, man. It's his first ever little collectible. And yeah, he's absolutely going to fail, but he's going to destroy it. But yeah, no, Knack is an Astrobot. Yeah,
I just googled it there. I remember his face now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
because he's not got all the big Knack stuff. It's just a wee Knack face. But yeah, I wonder if there's any other ones that we have missed out, Scott. So I mean, what other sequels out there, listeners, would you think could be announced that would surpass the original? Any ones we've missed? Any ones you're sitting shouting in the car or listening to this just now going, I can't believe they didn't say that one. We did say Knack 3. We thought we got them all. Let us know. Let us know in the comments, or even just come and join us on Patreon and let us know there within the free community. It'd be good to hear from you. Closing thoughts on that one, Scott, I think I would say is that, yeah, I think, sequels, there's a reason we always get excited about it, and it's why I am excited to play Ghost of GOTY this week, and why I've been so excited with Hades 2, because you can take what worked with that first and just refine it. I think refinement is a very, very important stage in the creative process, and that's when you usually get your best work. Very rarely does version 1 work out the way that you want it to. Not saying that it can't, but it's a very rare and wonderful thing when it does. But on that note, I think we should move on to our next segment, which of course means that it's time for the Pixel Picks Showdown, where each week we each pick a game from our chosen theme and decide which one deserves to live on the hallowed Pixel Picks list, which is our definitive list of the best games we recommend and pass on to the next generation of gamers. Now, last week's theme was best game with no combat, with Power Wash Simulator becoming the latest addition to the list. We did it, people. I won, the Final Da won, we won. Power Wash Simulator is on this list, and I couldn't be happier about it. And in this week's showdown, we are going to be debating what best game within a game we think should feature on the Pixel Picks list. Now, as always, last week's winner goes last. That's, of course, be the Final Da. Yours truly. Scott, you'll go first. Before we do, some caveats to this one, right?
Right, okay.
So, this probably should have covered this before we started the show, right? And it's the best game within a game. So we are effectively picking the mini game. However, the game that mini game is in will go on the list, which means that if that game is already named on the Pixel Picks list,
Then you're goosed.
we can't pick it. So, for talking's sake, right, if I just quickly glance my eye over it just now.
If you were to choose Gwent, you cannot choose The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Cannot choose The Witcher 3. So it does reduce the potential candidates pool a little less, but you know what? I enjoyed that little caveat to the challenge because I've picked two games here. One I think we might agree on, but I've picked two games here. My honourable mention, for example, is one that I probably wouldn't have picked because of that. So, on you go, Scott. Why don't you kick things off with that honourable mention in your pick this week?
Well, it's funny you should have brought up that caveat now, because I did think that was going to be the case. I was thinking, as a host, I should probably know that was going to be the way that we go down this route. But my honourable mention would, and probably should be, Gwent, but it can't be because that game is already on the list. So my choice for this week was a simple one after I thought about it. And it's actually my choice for this week and the honourable mention are two parts of the same series, Liam. The same series of games has multiple mini games within it. So my honourable mention for this week is Final Fantasy X, and the mini game with that is Blitzball.
Nice.
I had no right. I say this all the time. I had no right, but it didn't, it was not necessary for Square Enix to make this sprawling JRPG and then also make a weird handball, football, swimming minigame that, has its own recruitment system, has its own, move system that you have to learn moves and stuff. It's weird. It's not my pick though, but I don't want to go too deep into it. But Blitzball is a fucking triumph. And if they had come out at the same time as that and said, look, we're making a Blitzball game, I think the internet and the world would have been a happier place now in 2025. I think that would have healed us as a society had they released Blitzball. But I can't play it because I'm fucking terrible at it. So that's the only reason why it's not number one on my list. And I would have quite happily put Final Fantasy X on my list. I'm not going to lie to you. But then I thought about it even more. I was like, what are actually the best parts of these games? And there are many games within games that are just mini games. You don't think about them. But there are many games within games that become a whole game within itself, and that takes over your brain. It's like Queen's Blood in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It became more than a mini game. It was an obsession. Gwent and The Witcher 3, even recently, having done the platinum run for that, I could have lost my life to that game, Liam, and I would have happily have done it. And you technically could have a get out clause with Gwent because it does have its own standalone title, but let's not go down that route. But my choice for this week is actually Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII. The wee card game that has all the characters in it. It has its own rules and it has its own states and stuff. And you can play pretty much every single person in that game. And depending on the area that you're in and who you've spoken to, it has different rules, it has different systems, it has different things that you have to abide by before you play it, and you're building a deck of cards as you go through that whole game, and it does become an obsession. And I'm fairly certain it has and I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it has a very, very addicting theme tune as you play it. I'm going to try and just make sure of it. It's either that or Tetra Master in Final Fantasy IX, but Final Fantasy VIII 100% does have Triple Triad does have roots in that series, and I think it's already in. I think it's also in Final Fantasy 14 as well. I think because it was so beloved that Final Fantasy 14 or Final Fantasy VIII could be either of the answers here. But my choice for this week is Final Fantasy VIII with Triple Triad.
Okay, good pick. Going to be having a bit of a theme here, Scott. A bit of a theme. I'm going to hit you with my honourable mention first, right? As a tradition. So mine's is a game that I first loathed this minigame because I just didn't want to give it the time because I wasn't the minigame guy. And it's from a game called Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Scott. And this minigame is called Orlog, which is a dice game, which they made up for the game. I got to stop saying game. But yeah, I didn't give it the time at first, right? And during my Platinum run, as I always do with the Assassin's Creed games, I grew to see it for what it was, which is a simple and utterly brilliant dice-based minigame that I was obsessed with. So much so that I looked online to see if there was real live sets, which I really should do, because I think at the time they might have said they were going to do something. I'm going to check that in a moment. But they made this game up for the game, which I think they've did something similar. It's become a bit of a trend recently where they create mini games that kind of suit the time period that they're in. I don't know if they did it again, if they did something similar in Ghost of GOTY, I'm not sure, but there's been a few examples anyway.
Not going to say that. What is the one from Outlaws?
Oh, yes, Sabak. Yeah, so that was already in Universe game anyway in Star Wars, but Sabak was absolutely fantastic. A really good card game, one that you will get obsessed with. It's not as fluid as some of the other card games, which I might mention in a moment, but Orlog, if you are picking up Assassin's Creed Valhalla, don't sleep on playing Orlog. It is fantastic, and there's just something just really cool about just sitting there. Wasn't so much like Gwent and all that. Was very pick up and play, and you didn't have to study too much like a card based one, which is what I enjoyed. It's just a dice rolling game, which is amazing. If they do have a real version, I might be weak. But for me, my main pick this week, Scott, is for my game series that you might have mentioned, which is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Of course, I've went for Queen's Blood. You knew I was going to go for Queen's Blood, Scott. It had to be. I mean, for real, if Square don't make this into a game on its own, they are insane. You know, I think it's an absolute triumph of a card battler, one that I would play endlessly. It's a highlight in what is an incredible game itself. I would argue it's worth the price of the game alone as well. It's that good. You know, getting your deck and your tactics down was so much fun, and I would honestly play that any time as well. So it's absolutely 110% has to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Queen's Blood. However, as the non-Final Fantasy resident sicko one here, Scott, I'm going to be a gentleman and put this over to yourself, which is, what would you decide is the best? And I know I'm putting myself up on the plate here, but you know the final does as a gentleman.
As a gentleman.
So what would you say?
My only criticism of Queen's Blood is that you don't play it enough. Like, you play it at certain moments in the game. It's not as if you... And there's certain areas where you go to, like, tournaments and stuff and certain people that you'll find, but it's not a widely played game. Whereas Triple Triad, you can walk up to every character, press square, and if they've got cards, they'll play you, which is 90% of the people there. However, Queen's Blood is a more fun game to play. I think that Triple Triad has an element of like being an absolute pain in the arse, whereas Queen's Blood is a lot more fun, and you can actively see it working. You can actively see it. It's really easy to watch the game unfold. And I didn't actually know that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth wasn't on the list. So, that being said, I think it does deserve its place. I think that it is a better game overall. Now, not talking about the mini games, just talking about Rebirth in general. It's a better game than 8. A better story than 8, better characters than 8. And yeah, I'm quite happy to concede with Queen's Blood and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth going on the list for the best mini games in games. There you go.
What a gentleman. Look at that. And this is... On top of this as well, Scott, I have since discovered that Orlog, they have actually made a real life version of it. So, guess what the final day is going to be doing to celebrate.
Buying himself some Orlog.
I can't wait to teach you this game. I'm going to get it physical. I'm going to teach you this game, Scott. We'll be sitting there playing it for hours over some beers. You mark your calendar, it's happening. But yeah, congratulations to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Queen's Blood. You are the next addition onto the Pixel Picks list as our best game within a game, which does, of course, mean, Scott, that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is now on the list officially, even though it's technically Queen's Blood. But it's one of those technicality ones this week, but it was good fun just to get a little bit more in depth and about it, I suppose. But that means that it's the end of yet another episode. So we must say, tatty bye, listeners. It's time for us to go. But yeah, thank you once again for listening. Yeah, just remember to support small independent games media out there. It's tough. It's tough out there. You know, people are putting up prices left, right, and centre, and we ain't. So if you like what you hear and enjoy the podcast, please share this on social media. Tell your friends about us and leave us a wee 5-star review. It all helps us out and makes a big difference. Speaking of free, remember to join our free Patreon community at patreon.com/Pixel Parents to support the show. Test time, Scott. Where can people find you online if they want to talk about how you're enjoying playing all log with your old dad?
I'm on Blue Sky at llamaman.bsky.social. Sending out hit tweets every single day. So enjoy that.
That's right, with a capital S, might add as well. Not a bit dapper. If you want to come follow me on Blue Sky, you can get me at carmelite.bsky.social. And of course, a massive thank you to our producer and music man, very talented and handsome Mr. Sean Murray. Please go show him some love. Check out his work on Instagram at barehandsdesigns and barehandsdesigns.com. Of course, you can listen to the next episode on all major podcast platforms and follow us on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social, and of course, write to us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. But until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and thanks for listening.
Farts are stored in the cheeks.